Hello and welcome to yet another video of Revit MEP by BIM Technologies. So in this video you will learn how to create electrical circuits between different panels and distribution board, as well as you will learn how to create conduits, conduit fittings, and also to learn about various options that can be used for creating circuits in a power distribution system. Now here we have this plan over here. So there are 4 walls over here, you can see, and we have created this particular building and the electrical template. So here we have the power plan over here, and we have loaded some of the families for the electrical equipment. So we are going to place some of the electrical equipments. So click on the electrical drop down here in the systems tab and click on the electrical equipment tool. So we are going to place electrical transformer here. So we're going to place the transformer at this location, and then we have the place on work plane option here, and then we are going to add an electrical appliance on the vertical face of the wall. So here we need to look into it. We want to create an electrical circuit between this transformer, which is placed at this location, and then this particular, let's see the distribution system of the transformer. The transformer is a 6 kilovolt ampere 400 by 230. So the distribution system over here, if I go down here, is 230 by 400 Y distribution system that we have. And for this panel board, we have the distribution system to be 230 400 Y, which is matching with it, and the secondary distribution also needs to have the same distribution system. So here we have, go to the top over here, so you have a secondary distribution option here. So let's search for the secondary distribution option. So schedule footer note, you have a schedule level, electrical engineering. So if you go with the schedule footer, and then we have the dimension, we have various distribution system. Okay, so here the transformer needs to have a secondary distribution which is going to connect with the panel over here. So here we have the distribution system as 230 400 Y, and here at the top you have the secondary distribution system, which would be same as the primary one. So now in order to create a circuit between the panel board and the transformer, select the panel board, and then we have this option called power over here, create system, and once you see the modify electrical circuit contextual tab, go with the select panel and select the transformer. So here we can convert, so you have this option as, you know, the panel is 6 kVA, and then you can convert this into an arc wire where you can see that the connection is done over here. So this is how the connection between the panel board and the transformer is done. So we can now use this to connect to different appliances and switches across. Now let us see how to create a conduit. Before that, we can also see how to add the electrical switches. So you have this electrical lighting switch. So you have got the electrical fixtures, and here in the electrical fixtures you can have different kind of fixtures. By default, the twin switch socket outlet is there, so you can have the switches placed, not the switches, the switch socket placed. Apart from that, if you want to load the family of the electrical fixture, you can go to the terminals, and you can see that there are different lighting switches is there. So you can have the lighting switches, single pole switch socket outlet, you can have a single pole switch socket outlet and 3-phase socket outlet lighting switch, and you can have this single switch socket outlet, and you can place them in the wall. So let's see how we can place them. So okay, so let's pull the electrical fixtures, the terminal here. Let's say we can have this single switch single pole socket over here, and now this can be placed at the walls. So now you can create a circuit out of these switches. So you can, if you look into it, there are certain ratings that you have, the elevation from levels, and then you have the fixtures that you have, switch voltages, another thing. So it's a 2-dimensional switch socket. If you go with the 3D, so you will find that there are different. So if you select all the 3-phase socket over here, so you can create a power. So it says now and you can convert them into a wire. So if you want to have, you know, more sockets connected, so you can have them from the electrical fixture, load the family, and let's say we wanted to have twin UN switch socket outlet, so you can have them here. So this is again, if you look into it, if you select them, you can create the power circuit out of it, and you can convert them into a switch system, so socket system. So when you click on here, you can see that there is if you select it, you will find that a system is created, and here in the system you can look into the circuits that is given over here. Similarly, if you select and press the tab key, you can see the electrical circuit, and you can select the panel which is supplying, and it is a part of this particular system. So similarly, you can select the system, and here we have the system select panel. You can select them, and this panel is feed. Now you can create a panel schedule out of it, and you can see that how the switch. So you have this particular circuit designation, and you have the type of wiring and the conductor which is connected to it. So this is how the panel schedules can be made. You can reload balances, and so this is how the circuits can be made while you are working in a 3D project. Now let's go to the power again. Let me go to the, and let's say we want to add conduits. So over here, go to the, you are in the power plan, and in the power plan you can go here into the systems, and you have got the conduits and the electrical. So once you click on the conduit, you would see that there are different types. There is a RNC and rigid non-metallic conduit is there with fittings and without fittings. So if you click here, and then if you look, it's just like inert elevation and size, and you can start creating. You can have the middle elevation, let's say at 300, and here you can see that the conduit is created along with. So if you go with the fine view over here, and if you see the 3D model here, so you can see that. So if you go and select the conduit, you would see that the conduit will be having a diameter that you can change at any moment of time. So it's the 63 mm. If you want to reduce it to 50 mm, a junction box will be created at the terminal. Other than that, if you go to the edit type of this, you can see that there are various fittings which is there. You can have a bend, so this is the bend that you can select, the T's, the transitions, the unions, as well as the standard, whether it's an EMT, RMC, IMC or ENC. So with this, if you also look into the fittings over here, so you can see the fitting here, the nominal radius, you can change the radius of the fitting, and you can start working. And let's draft some conduits here. Let's say if I want to draft a conduit from, so if I want to draft a conduit here, I can see a junction box is created, and you can see the bends are created at a particular place. So here you can see that, and if I wanted to have the conduits moving up, so I can have 2750. You can see that the conduits are moving up. So this is how you can create different kinds of conduits. And if you want to create parallel conduits, you can also go with the tab key over here, and here you can see that there is an option called parallel conduits, like the parallel pipes that we used to have. And here if you select the tab key, or you can if you select any one of them, and you can have the same bend radius, so you can see that horizontal number or a vertical number, whatever you want, it can be created. And the distance is 304. Similarly, for the vertical number, you can have the offset distances. So let's say if I wanted to have the conduits outside, so it is because of the junction box, it is not getting created. But if I want to stack them, let's say in a particular distance, so I can go with the electrical and the parallel conduits, and if I say that I want to stack them in 100 millis, so I'd be having as many as conduits which is placed and tagged. So you can see here that the conduits are placed in a stacking mode. Other than that, you can also pull the conduits from the equipment. So you can have the draw conduit from the face, and then press the enter key when you finish the connection. So you can go with the finish connection, and then you can start creating the conduit as per your own requirement that you have. Similarly, if you want to start a conduit from the face here, draw the conduit, finish connection, and then you can draft the conduit as much as you can from the equipment. Hope you have understood and liked this video. Now in the next session we will be talking about switch system as well as lighting fixtures, and then we will be talking about how to add cable trays in the power plant. Thank you.